So we're lucky enough, if I pronounce right, Tim Kovach?
Kovach.
Kovach, okay.
Yeah, everybody gets it wrong, it's fine.
All right. It gives you a chance to correct them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody calls me big time now anyways in this one.
All right. And so you've been a light heavyweight or lightweight and middleweight competitor in strongman? Is that right? Okay. And you've done powerlifting and all too?
I did one powerlifting meet. I broke 4 national records and thought it was boring.
Totals?
I didn't do it again.
Can we get the breakdown?
Nothing too overly impressive. It was a APF Junior Masters. I think I totaled like 1550.
Okay.
555 squat, 50 something bench, and then opened at 605 on the deadlift, and I did probably too big of a jump to 655 and missed that one. Kind of tweaked my hammy on the squat, so I was like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try this again.
What did you weigh in for that meet?
It was a 220 class, but I think I weighed like 208 or something.
Oh wow. Okay. Wasn't that how like the weight for strongman goes too? It's like 175, and then it's like 200 and 231.
It depends if you're Strongman Corp or if you're United States Strongman. United States Strongman does more powerlifting breakdown, so it's 181, 198, 220. So basically, it follows more of the 90 kilo, 100 kilo, 242, 275.
Okay.
And do both of those federations give you an opportunity to get your pro card, or is that only for heavyweights? You can't get as a lightweight, can you?
Well, there's a lot of differing opinions on the whole pro card thing.
Okay.
It doesn't really mean anything.
Okay.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, you become a pro, and especially if you're a lightweight pro, that limits you to 1 show a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So then what's the advantage? Just to say, hey, I'm a pro?
Just to say I'm a pro.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. And then, USS has, they have some pro stuff too, but you can still compete.
Gotcha.
Without a pro card?
Without a pro card, yeah. You don't,
Okay.
Seems kind of silly.
Yeah, we're the only country that has pro
Really?
for strongman. Yeah, no other country has pro.
Interesting.
I
Okay.
didn't know that.
That's probably why so many freaks from other countries come out of nowhere too. Like,
Yeah.
We was talking about the Mateus character.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a monster.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, so there was at one point in time, there were shows that actually paid money,
Yeah.
and you could get paid to do the pro stuff, but it's just.
Gotcha. So then let's go back to the beginning for you. How did you get involved in all this? Was it around 2000 or so, or?
I think it was,
That breath was great.
I gotta think a long way back this one.
let's go.
Shit.
I think I'm probably the oldest guy in the room. I think it was 2008, 2009.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. I was visiting some family, ex-wives, in-laws in the Quad Cities, saw a poster, and I called the promoter, who is Willie Wessels, who's also now the president of United States Strongman, and I said, hey, what do you think? Think I'd be able to do this? And he's like, I don't know, come try. And I was like, okay.
Great promoter.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you sold me. So went and did that contest, never touching anything, finished last, but I really liked it. So
Yeah, it was just that humbling.
yeah. It was a whole new challenge, something that I've never done before, and something that I just was like, I want to see if I can get good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that kind of lit the fire then for you to start training for different events?
It did, yeah. No, I tried to find whoever I could to train with. I drove, from Fridley to Lonsdale a couple times a month.
Was that a good hour or so?
Yeah,
Okay.
about an hour to train with Pete Bird, and did
And had-
that 2 to 3 times a month.
Wow. Was he a competitor for a while then?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He's been, he's been in it almost. I'd say almost as long as Carl Gillingham.
Oh, wow.
Really,
Okay.
Pete's been competing forever.
What's in the water down there?
Southwest Minnesota.
Yeah.
And then, so when you went down there, was a lot of your training obviously just getting introduced to the different events, but was a lot of it technique based, where I'm guessing you're like, I think Joel had been on before and talked about how Dave always helped him with really using his body, different lengths and heights that work best for him aren't going to necessarily work for Joel.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what Pete helped you with as well, or how did that all form for you?
No, Pete helped with that a lot. He had I don't know, he had just kind of a way of looking at the athlete and just being like, I think you need to do this differently, and
Okay.
was able to kind of figure that out and help a lot with that. And it was, the other thing about going to a place like that is you have to just lift the shit that they have.
Oh yeah.
So like my first stone that I was ever able to train with was a 240 stone.
Jesus.
And I'm a 180 pound guy at that time. And I was like, I gotta lift this.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, just do it.
I don't fucking care. Just pick it up.
Yeah, he's like, it is what it is. You're gonna do it or you're not. But,
Probably made you better at the long run.
Yeah.
Is it being able to, mentally attack those kind of weights,
Yeah.
or those fears, really.
uh-huh, yeah.
So that in training, as far as that goes, like, what would like a heavy stoner be for you? Was it 240? How heavy did they go for?
When I started,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
you mean like when I
Like
started?
any of the events, yeah. Were this 240 like pretty?
Well, so the first contest I was in, I don't remember what the stone was. It had to have
Okay.
been 200, 220.
Oh, wow.
I'd never touched one before.
Yeah.
And I remember, it was a stone over bar. You just pick it up, load it over bar for
Okay.
reps. Somebody rolls it back to you. Not that big a deal. But I remember it took me at least 30 seconds to figure out how to even pick it up off the ground.
Yeah.
And I had guys like putting a jar in front of my face, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. And I was like, I don't need that. Get it out of here. And it was tacky, so it turns out I probably did need it. But I had no
want
idea. I
peanut
had no
butter.
idea what it was. I'd never seen it before. I'm
Yeah.
like, get that, whatever it is. It's weird.
Interesting.
I have soft hands.
But I'm very delicate. Yeah.
So interesting. So then, as far as like when you're training at Pete's house, like what was one of your favorite implements he had that you had never done beside that? Is there anything that kind of just like?
Stones, I don't know. I think most people have kind of stones have a special place in their heart, Yeah. You either love them or you hate them, really.
Yeah.
But I really like those. But I guess the other thing I found out that I was fairly good at was yoke. I don't know. I could just walk fast
Yeah.
with it.
And that's where the it's on your back and you walk through, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just pick it up and.
What's your heaviest yoke carry?
I've picked and taken steps with 1,000.
Jesus.
How many? I was kidding.
2.5.
I moved the fucking thing.
And when it got up and it moved, not very far. But then when I set it down, and this is probably why I'll never do 1,000 pounds again. But when I set it down, it kind of came down on the back and then
Really?
the front. So as I
Okay.
set it down, I started walking forward.
Yeah.
It came back and hit me in the back of my head,
Oh shit.
and I almost vomited
Yeah.
because that sucked. And I was like, no. fuck
Whiplash
that.
from 1,000-pound yoke.
So, but I've done full, 50-foot runs with 800 pounds.
Jesus.
It's,
And so when it comes to that event, is it really crucial on your heel to toe and all the walking? Is that really, or is it all just getting amped up and just going like?
No. You definitely have to have your walk down. Otherwise,
it?
you'll just,
Yeah.
if you don't know what you're doing, that yoke is just gonna,
Yeah.
it's gonna put you down.
And not to give all the inside secrets away, but like, is it better off to have
I got the
a,
secrets.
a close stance? Do you want to walk wide? And do you have your back clenched like you're in a squat the whole time? How do you kind of?
I kind of like to keep, I like to keep my feet a little bit wider than like my
Yeah.
normal gait, and so kind of almost thinking about a wider base.
Okay.
And I mean that's about it. Small steps. You start taking long steps, you're gonna fall.
Gotcha.
Don't try to get going too fast. And
When you're doing those events, can you use like a squat suit or like a deadlift suit or something you can strap on to keep yourself upright?
You can.
You're gonna move quick.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I've never been in one. I just, it looks cool on TV.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't. It's not. I don't think it's gonna do much for you, really. Some
Back
people,
of his head, he's thinking, what a dumbass.
I mean, the thought has crossed my mind on a couple of different events.
See?
Like, I thought in my mind, I'm like, loading stones. I mean, why wouldn't a squat suit work?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you're just exploding through your hips.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, I think think when you actually do it, the results might not be
Restrictions,
actually
yeah.
what you kind of want.
That's just like a free moving movement. I don't know if that is a term.
Free moving movement.
Yeah. Like, you're not restricted. You're not tense like you're in a squat. To pick up a stone, that's like, I don't know. It's different than anything.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it than just a squat.
Yeah.
Well, in the picking up the stone, is there, like you were saying, how you're trying to figure out how to pick up the damn thing? I've heard there's
Yeah.
a lot of high risk in pulling your biceps in that if you don't have it just right.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Depending how you load it, and then if you want to see how to incorrectly load a stone, just watch CrossFitters because they do it real hard.
So what do you think, like now in the most recent, some of the events I've seen on TV in the Strongman, like the recent one in Santa Monica Pier here with Arnold, they don't anymore lift the stone up onto a platform. They hold it up to their freaking head and their shoulder and hold their opposite hand out. Like,
Yeah.
As it becomes so easy just loading them, now they got to make it like a repetition sport. Why do you think it's gone to that?
Shit just gets like I think it goes through cycles with
Okay.
what's kind of popular at the time because
Gotcha.
if you've watched every World's Strongest Man since they started in 78,
We have.
77, something like that. I may have. They did go through a period of time where they did do a couple of years right in a row.
Yeah.
They did stone shouldering.
Yeah.
I hate it. I don't.
Okay.
No, I think it's gross.
You think about some of those events though, like how classic were those? And like you're talking about the yoke, like didn't they used to have where they had the refrigerators on each side?
Yeah.
You're like, how cool was that?
Yeah.
Like if they brought some more like epic like visuals back, that would be really cool.
That's how it kind of started, was just making everything just a spectacle and
Yeah.
like really cool looking. I remember when they did it. I think they actually did it at the Playboy Ranch one year. They had like an engine built on a wheelbarrow.
Oh really?
Yeah, that they had to pick up, and they had to.
And that was a loaded carry or something?
That was just you just basically picked it up like a wheelbarrow and you ran
Yeah.
it as fast as you could, and then
Okay.
the refrigerator thing, Franco Colombo, that's when he broke his leg and it was
Oh,
poking,
shit,
out
really?
of his skin, and they're like, "What are you gonna do now that your leg's broken?" And he's like, "It's not broken." No, pretty sure it is. I can see your bone.
You don't see that?
You're not gonna walk this one off.
Well, being at the ranch, I'm sure you had good recovery that day. Wow. So that and what was the other one? They had that I don't know how thick it was. That iron. They
Oh, the bar bending?
Yeah, how cool was that?
Man,
It looks so ridiculously hard.
I know. I would kind of. You can buy bending stock too. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's places where you can just.
Is it just too injury prone now, or you just can't do that? It's not an event because it looked like it was the hardest thing in the world.
I don't know. Maybe I'll buy one for mine next year.
Yeah.
And see, just buy a bunch of bars and people out there bending them.
Let's do this.
Here you go. Figure it out.
Broken vertebrates, but the bars bent.
I don't really know. I've never had the opportunity to actually do that.
Yeah.
think
Well, I
it'd
feel
be
like
fun.
we can think of the craziest idea to do. Like you can throw it in Strongman, and hey, we'll try it. Like it's one of those things where it's
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah, they
Just,
do literally anything.
Just look at Bud Jeffrey's Instagram page.
Oh, dude, he
Oh
is.
my god,
yes.
that guy's
Pull some
nuts.
shit off there.
What was the one where he like started his squat rack on fire or something? Or
Well, that was what's that guy's
Tom
name?
Finn or
No,
Huck Finn.
that bench guy. Man, I forget his name. But anyways, he did one where he was benching and he lit his plates on fire.
oh yeah,
Okay,
I saw that
okay.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. So then after you got together with your buddy and you started learning those implements on Lonsdale, where did you go from there? Did you start entering in competitions, or how did it take off for you from
Yeah,
that point?
I did the Minnesota, whatever it's called, Minnesota State Strongman Championship.
It was this thing.
Yeah, Jason Adamski up in Sauk Rapids. He is promoted. I want to say it's the longest running contest
Really?
in the U.S. right now.
Wow.
The amateur level contest.
Okay.
I think he's been doing it for like 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So I did that one. I won that one, and then I went out and did one in Illinois
Yep.
and won that one.
Wow. And what weight was this at? The lightweight
This
or
was
middle?
all- This was all at 200.
Were you cutting for that at that point, or is that were
No,
you gaining?
I was trying to eat into that class.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. No, I wasn't. I started at 180.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yep. And
And with these events, were they kind of all similar at the time, or were they different when you went from Minnesota to Illinois?
no, they were different. They let's see. I think when I did Illinois, I don't think I was really training very often with Pete at that time.
Okay.
So that was also the first time that I carried a yoke.
Yeah.
And I was like, how hard did this one?
Pick it up, put it
Turns
down.
out very hard. It was the worst looking yoke walk you have ever seen.
So your first yoke and your first stone were both at a competition.
My first log press, my first farmer's yoke,
Jesus.
stone, tire flip.
Do you have any good stories, you know? Like, I feel like, especially picking up the stone, that'd be like a monkey trying to fuck a doorknob for the first time, you know?
You know,
A little strange.
I mean, you see a bunch of weird shit all the time. I saw one contest that was at the Olympia. I don't remember who was doing it, but there was an axle deadlift that they had to do. And this guy decided he was going to try to pick up one side of the axle first, put it on his knee, and then try to pick up the other side. That didn't turn out well for him.
Strong man, smart man.
Who's his trainer?
What is he doing?
We're all like, that's not gonna work. And then he got one side up, and we're like, well, maybe. Question mark? I don't know.
Did he have like super glue to put it in place on his knee and then go to the other
man,
side?
I don't
Like,
even.
That's
So
insane.
it didn't work.
I got you.
Wow.
Yeah. So how was that at the different events? I mean, it was this in the Ohio you were at for the Arnold, or where was this at?
That was at the Olympia.
Oh, the Olympia.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So these events, are there people just from the United States or different countries where there's a language barrier?
Oh,
I mean,
it depends.
Okay.
I've competed in Norway and Finland for Strongman Champions League.
and that was like the World's
Yeah,
Strongman?
that was,
Okay.
that was world champ. That was 90 kilo world championships.
Okay, let's rewind this real quick. So you're doing the local events from Minnesota, Illinois.
Yeah, let's start from the beginning.
So how the hell? how do you go from there to the world events? You just keep getting your wins, or how do you?
Yeah.
Are you invited, or?
So Strongman Corporation, which was at the time it was called North American Strongman.
Okay.
Their nationals. Pete actually was like, "You should just do nationals," and I was like, "Okay." So then I was trying to decide what weight I wanted to do because I was competing all the time at 198, but then the 175 class had an invite to World Championships that you competed at the Arnold.
Huh.
So I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's see if we can cut down to 175." So I did. I competed at nationals, and I finished third there.
Damn.
And then went and competed at the Arnold. Top four competed on the main stage on day 2. So I finished third on the first day, and then I moved up a spot and finished second for those World Championships first time.
Wow,
So
that's
I got,
awesome.
I got to actually have the experience of competing on the main stage at the Arnold.
That's awesome. Was
That's
he
awesome.
there that day? Did you get to shake his hand or anything?
I did not.
Okay.
He's there every day.
Yeah.
I think, but no, he didn't come out. He didn't know.
Gotcha.
He didn't know anything about me at that time. He does now.
After the podcast airs.
It's actually picking me up. Yeah.
That's crazy. So from there, you said you competed in Norway as well?
Yeah, so the one, United States Strongman, I'm a state rep for them. And one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to be a part of that organization is they just try to make opportunities for athletes.
Okay.
So one of the things, Strongman Champions League is a organization in Europe, basically. And all these guys that are competing at this Arnold, they compete for Strongman Champions League as well.
Very cool.
And they have like a yearly, a yearly thing that they do for the big guys.
Okay.
So like every month they compete somewhere else, and then it's like a point system.
Oh.
Whoever kind of wins it at the end gets a
Sure.
decent sized cash payout. But so now they also have 90 kilo and 100 kilo world championships that they do. So they only, I think they only invite 2 from every country.
Wow.
And I don't remember how many countries were represented at the contest. There was quite a few, actually. So a little bit of a language barrier when you go to those
Sure.
places. It was kind of funny because when we went to I did Norway first, and we didn't have service on our cell phones or anything like that. So
How'd you live?
it was very difficult. The hardest part was, we rented an Airbnb, so we got this really cool house. my parents came with, and you know, some of the other athletes,
Yeah.
the U.S. athletes stayed with us and stuff. But we would go to the store to buy our shit just for food and whatever, and we're like looking for things, but none of it's in English.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, so we're like, what is this? And then you don't know how much anything costs because it's not, you know, U.S. dollars.
Yeah.
Just hope you have enough.
I
when you
hope
get
this
to the
is
register.
toothpaste, or it's.
It's gonna work for toothpaste no matter what it is. So that was, there was a little bit of a barrier there, but it was
Sure.
You know, it was still, it was a really good experience.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
So is that kind of like what in a different federation, I guess, like they have all this Giants Live on? They're showing you around the world now. Is Giants Live a competitor of the federation you're in, or is that kind of just a different?
No, I don't. Well, I guess yes, it could be considered a you know, competitor, but
Is it the same kind of thing where they have, like, if you know, maybe you don't put the same point systems and all that stuff, or just to bring more attention to strongman, maybe, or?
Giants Live is a feeder into Arnold and
Oh, it is, okay.
Winter Strongman. Yeah,
Okay.
so they kind of feed it up into.
Gotcha.
Because how does all of this work with strongman in the U.S.? I mean, I know with powerlifting, there's multiple federations.
Yeah.
Olympic weightlifting, there's just USAW, which that makes it simple. But with strongman, how does that all work?
Like you being a state rep,
Yeah.
does that
Yeah.
allow you to, like, are you representing when are you still competing, or do you advise, like, hey, this person's making headway here, I recommend you talk to him, or how does that work?
Basically, I'm just like the answer guy.
Okay.
For a lot of things. I still compete. I promote a show every year, and then if anybody wants to promote a show, a sanctioned show,
Yeah.
then I help them.
Very cool.
Doing that, and I'll try to be there.
Yeah.
And show up, and you know, just
Yeah.
be our local person for.
Very cool.
So is that like a state, like there's one per state? Or is it-
Yeah, there's one or two.
Okay,
There's
gotcha.
co-reps too.
Okay, gotcha.
And then I don't have to qualify for nationals.
Yes.
Very cool.
That's a little bonus.
Oh, I don't. Shit, I'm in.
Let's do it.
And then another great part that you bring to the table too is you host, or you put on the Winter Assault Strongman. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing that
Yeah,
for?
this will be our 6th year
Oh wow.
doing it. We're at the convention center.
Has it been there every year?
No, I started at a gym called Allegiance Fitness, and that place is closed down.
Oh,
We did
that's
it 2
right.
years there. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did it 2 years there, and then we did it at 2 other gyms. We did it at the Metro Flex in Fridley,
Yep.
and then this Body Evolution Fitness in Maple Grove.
Okay.
That's a little private gym.
Yeah.
And then I found these expo guys that put on this healthy life expo.
Yep.
They do it twice a year, and one's in the, one's kind of in the end of winter here.
Yeah.
So I just reached out to them and said, hey, do you guys want us as part of this thing? I'm not going to pay you.
Straight,
Yeah.
straight to the
But,
point.
but,
Sales 101.
but I guarantee your numbers will be higher than what they've been.
Sure.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we'll try it. And then after they saw what we brought,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, we want you back. That's
Yeah.
awesome. For sure.
That's awesome.
So for you, like heading that up, what's the hardest part for you? Is it the competitors you have to find? Is it bring out the equipment there yourself? Like, what's the biggest challenge you have doing that, putting that on?
I think it's probably finding the equipment because
Okay.
I have enough for
Yep.
me, but
Yep.
I don't have 2 of everything, and I like to run 2 lanes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
So I have to find the other stuff, and then I have to bring it.
Sure.
And like now we're doing a keg carry and load. Well, I have to fill all the kegs,
Yep.
and that's a pain in the ass.
And
You
when
gotta
it gets
fill with
taken
sand
home,
or
right?
whatever.
Yeah.
And then I had to reach out to some friends because I found out that you can only fill a keg up to 280 pounds with sand and water. Otherwise, you have to do some other things to get it heavier. So
That's good to know.
so I was like, how heavy is this son of a bitch gonna be?
Just get some Milwaukee vests in there.
Yeah.
Finish it off.
That would have to be tough. I could for weightlifting, it's easy. Like I throw a platform down, get the weights.
Yeah.
We're good to go. The organization part's the hardest part, but for you, having all that stuff, fuck, that's
does
so
that-
much equipment.
Does that dictate the events you do too? Like, you're
Yeah.
only bringing so many stones.
Yeah.
You're only doing like.
Yeah, I have to think about the space that I'm in for sure.
Yeah.
Because
What about time and knowing how long an event's gonna take?
Yeah. Is it a couple days or one day, or how do you do that?
it's all we do it all in one day.
Okay.
And it's Yeah, you don't know sometimes.
Yep.
Sometimes you pick something and it's just terrible.
What if
And it just lasts so long, and you're just sitting over there
Yeah.
trying to get through it, and you're like, oh, this sucks so bad. But you're trying not to tell anybody. Like you know, and you look at the
Yeah.
crowd and everybody's just bored.
Well, they probably know too.
Yeah, you're like, oh man, and then you
Yep.
push through and you get it done.
Yeah.
Our finger broke.
Well, even if you
just stuff like that. It's
yeah,
like, really.
even if you test it out, like you don't know until it's in a competitive state, like
Yeah,
what
right.
people are gonna do. So
But I'm guessing after like 6 years now, you probably have an idea of what events are more enticing for the fans and the competitors themselves,
Yeah.
maybe, or
Yeah, it's in a ballroom in the convention center, so it's like, okay, well.
very elegant.
It's very elegant. Everybody wears
I was
tuxedos.
gonna say, is this a suit and tie event?
If it's not,
The lighting is dark.
Fuck, I can't go.
Tuxedo Strongman.
Yeah. But it's like, it's on carpet, so I have to bring in mats to protect the carpet.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
That's a
You just-
lot.
you just
Yeah.
gotta think.
Shit,
And
yeah.
I did a stone load last year, so that I had to bring in tarps to make sure people didn't get tacky all over it,
Yeah.
because it'll get all over everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so last year I actually, I had a lot of shit.
Yeah.
A lot. Because I did a press medley, so every athlete I think had to press 5 different things or something like that.
Yeah.
So, and I had 2 lanes, so that's 10 objects sitting
Yeah.
out there.
You almost need 2
You know.
lanes. I want you to keep it moving at a nice pace.
Yeah. And I've got double the athletes this year than I did last year.
Oh, shit.
So this year I picked events that was going to be easier to bring in,
Okay.
easier to move around. Not so many moving pieces.
How about taking it down?
Oh,
That's the worst. As soon as it's all done, you're like, fuck.
All your helpers have left.
Yeah, that's one thing I gotta give my
They're our
my
brothers.
coaches and like our team. Like as soon as it's done last year, I was so proud of them. All of a sudden, they start tearing stuff down on their own. I'm like, oh my god, I love everyone. yeah, but I bet for you, that's
It's
all
you
that
know what?
equipment and everything.
Yeah, I've been really lucky having like really good help.
Yeah, that's good.
Just guys who they get it. Some good friends who just show up and
Sure.
Yeah.
they're like, well, I'm not competing, so I'll help. And it's harder. You actually are. You feel worse after helping a day
Oh, yeah.
than actually competing.
Unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
So then with that too, do you have obviously helpers putting the weights on, setting everything up throughout the whole meet as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we need, 2 lanes, you need 2 of everything. So you need 2 judges, 2 timekeepers, 2 scribes, and then you need 2 groups of people loading and unloading, resetting equipment, stuff like that. And then probably one of the hardest jobs is keeping score. It's there's a lot of stress because you don't want to fuck up numbers, and then then you got these people yelling at you, and everybody's always looking over your shoulder like, how did I do, and whatever. And
Yeah.
you try to tell them so many times, don't bother my scorekeepers.
Yes.
But they still do.
Yeah, we've had issues like that in the past with stuff. I mean, I think every sport, but I could suppose something like that. That's always about time and everything else.
Yeah, it's gotta-
immediate gratification.
Yeah, and then my wife, she doesn't take shit, so
That's why she's your wife.
you get one comment to her that she doesn't like, and you're on her shit list.
You almost got to put those judges up in like a lifeguard seat so they're away from everyone.
Yeah,
Sit
right.
up there, look down on everyone.
Look down on everyone like
So-
like they're pretty much doing. The
Yes.
That's the thing. Like athletes don't understand. Like, you shouldn't be dicks to those people because they hold the keys to the kingdom, man.
Wait till
like,
the
don't
meet's
don't,
over.
yeah, don't
Yeah.
piss them off.
Yeah.
Like,
So how does that work for finding judges for strongman? Is it someone who's competed before, someone who has a pro card, someone you trust? How does that work for you?
Usually it's just somebody that I trust, somebody that I know is going to make a good call.
Okay.
Whatever. So I usually try to judge. I got a lot going on these days.
Yeah.
But I try to judge.
Okay.
I also have any number of athletes of mine that are competing.
Yeah.
So I try not to judge them.
Okay.
Because I don't want anybody to
harder
think
on
it's a
them.
conflict of interest. Dora, don't like your pants today.
Sick of that face.
fuck that guy.
Shut up one too many times late on Saturday.
You didn't bring me snacks to our house.
That would be fun. There's so many people I don't like in this world. Can I judge?
I mean,
I don't like that
highly
guy.
scrutinize everyone. No, that guy, his face.
She winked at me. You got a good.
You're giving reps before the whistle.
She won.
She started with 3.
It's a well-run event. So then, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, so for all these events, strongman seems to be pretty wide open. So is there any kind of set standards on? Obviously, it's not on the equipment, but weights, or is it
Like
just?
number of events or?
Yeah, it's just everything wide open.
Yeah, it's like the Wild West. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Seriously, that's what it seems like.
5 deadlifts. Get out there and do it. I wanted to. That's cool. No, I mean, there's like, I think there's kind of like some unwritten rules
Okay.
that most promoters kind of know. You know, you want to be like 5 events. You want to have a press. You know, you want to carry something. And you know, for me, I like more traditional strongman. So I'm gonna make you deadlift something. I'm gonna make you load something. You're gonna press something, and then the other things, you know, there's gonna be a carry, and then there's gonna be some wild card thing that I might just be like, oh, I don't know, do this, carry this for as far as you can. I'm not gonna tell you how long. Just go.
Yeah.
I want to just right now recommend the wild card, going back to like the 70s strongman stuff. Throw an old, remember you see the tug of war, or they have to press, wrestle each other out of the circle.
Oh, really?
Remember that? That was like go something old school. Just bring back a blast from the
I don't know.
past.
I don't know if that would
tribute to
work
that.
now. You're like, you
Well,
probably
some
get
of
some
those guys
swings.
were big back then too, trying
Yeah,
to do it. I think Kazmaier won everything, but
Yeah.
it was insane watching that.
Yeah.
So then, as far as like getting your competitors, can anyone sign up? Do they kind of, and like back when we said with the weights, do you kind of just pick a similar weight that you think everyone that's going to sign up can do, or are you putting it at a high premium
this
so
is,
only
this
strong
is
people
man.
can
This
do
is
it?
regular man. Fuck them. If you're not strong enough, you get out of here. Go train again for another year. Come back.
Yeah.
I like it.
No, it's what I try to do is I try to look at the weights for nationals.
Okay.
And then I try to make mine, like 90% of what that is.
Okay.
Wow.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something that's, because you compete and the top 3 in the division or class or whatever qualify for nationals. So
Sure.
my thought is get them weights that are close so that they're at least prepared.
Yeah. Okay. And then with the people signing up, like, were you booked in the first week? Do you have a lot of high interest right now because the sport is growing? How does that work?
It's super annoying, actually. Because, you'll get.
Can't
like-
wait to see you next Saturday.
No. It's you get usually a decent amount right in the beginning.
Okay.
Like everybody, for mine, everybody's waiting. They're just waiting. And I remember the day I posted it, one of my athletes had her entry to me, like that day.
Yeah.
She's like, want to be the first one. And so that's kind of cool. So then you get a number of people that were waiting for it, and they're like, oh sweet, so they send their entry. And then you get people that just wait.
I got it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Make it easier on us.
Yeah.
For any of my meets, I probably get the last 15 to 16 entries, the last like 8 days.
Yeah, no, I got a bunch. So I posted, I don't know, a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I'm like, if you're gonna do my contest, you want a contest T-shirt, sign up. Let me know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at least I can get those ordered and whatever, and then you get a bunch of entries from that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So within this, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was.
So within this event, are you also giving away trophies for certain prizes, or are they with like a cash event, or is it all pride? What are they?
They get trophies. Depending on what my expenses are
Yeah.
for the year
And how much you like them?
and how much I like the athletes over there. I'll give cash. If the people who
Okay.
win, I don't like them, I don't give cash.
Prize unknown.
Yeah. No, they always get a trophy. First place always gets a trophy from me. Second, third will always get a medal.
Okay.
I did one year. I gave $100 for an event win. So
Nice.
over all the athletes, like if you had the most reps, any class, whatever it was, except novices, because novices are a wild card.
Okay.
I can explain that in a minute, but so anybody else, if you get 12 reps on the log press, and all the other classes got $100. So that was pretty cool. The thing about the reason why I can't include novices is because, like for men, I'll have a 180-pound guy sign up, and I'll have a 320-pound guy sign up.
Yeah.
Well, you can't put these guys head to head and be
Yeah.
like, oh, this 180-pound guy is going to outpress a 320-pound. That's just not.
Yeah.
It's not typical. So it's kind of skewed that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be fair to the athlete.
Now, are they using different weights too, or the same weights?
The novice?
No, the 180 man versus the 320 pound.
Well, if they're in the novice class, they're using the same weight.
They are. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So what are some of the weights for some of the events that you're doing then?
If you're able to release them now.
Oh,
Yeah, well, it's on the entry.
Okay.
So it's not. You know,
There goes the suspense.
Yeah, that's a hard one for me to actually talk about because I have 13 different weight classes.
oh, holy shit.
And every weight class is different then?
Every weight class is different, and I've got 5 events, so they're all different weights.
How about
So-
strongman? If you just like general, like or heavyweight, I should say, not strongman.
Well-
The heavy, super heavyweights. What would like a press mentally be for them at the top weight?
I think I have them doing either a 280 or a 300-pound log
For reps? Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
And then I think they're doing a 700 deadlift for reps.
Oh wow. Now is this deadlift?
Just regular deadlift.
Regular deadlift. Nothing different about it. Okay.
No, I was gonna do something different, but this year I gave them a farmer's carry
Yeah.
with 2 turns, so it's actually 150 feet.
Oh wow.
Which is much longer. Initially, I was going to have them actually physically make the turn while holding
Yeah.
the farmers.
Yeah.
But due to space, I had to change that. So now they go 50
Set 'em
feet,
down.
set them down, turn inside the farmers, repick and go.
And
Which
Egyptians-
I don't know if that's harder. Some people say it's harder. Some people say it's easier because you're actually deadlifting these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And 2 extra times.
Beside the
So-
deadlift.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
same day.
And then if your grip slips and you drop them, you're doing it even more times.
Are they able to wear straps on this or not?
No.
Okay.
No.
But on the deadlift they can, right?
Yeah.
And is that from standard normal depth or is it
No,
higher?
it's just standard deadlift
Standard.
bar, nothing
Awesome.
special. I just like to, I don't know, I like deadlifting on a nice deadlift bar.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yep.
like, I'm gonna let you guys deadlift on a nice deadlift bar.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I change it every year. I did I think one of the funnest things I did is a deadlift medley. I really like deadlifting, so it was kind of fun. But I gave them a barbell, an axle, I think a set of farmers,
Okay.
and then a frame. And I had for the frame for the men, I had a local company, Big River Timber Works. They built me a giant frame.
Oh, wow.
So it's timbers, 10 by 12 inch timbers, stacked, and it weighs 600 pounds empty. It's a monster.
Wow.
It's a super cool looking piece. I'll probably roll that out here.
Yeah.
Maybe next year and throw that back in the contest because
That sounds
It's-
like yeah. So when you that's great.
yeah, it's one of those things like you were talking earlier. You want to
Yeah.
make it look cool.
Yeah.
Pulling this thing out, everybody's
That
like,
looks
holy shit.
If something like that, is there like well, even the 700-pound deadlift, is there all the competitors can get a couple reps or do some people just go up there, they're just not
Oh
getting
yeah.
any?
Well, that's the other thing that you try to do as far as picking weights. Also, is
Yeah.
it's like the rule of thirds.
Okay.
So you want like a third of your athletes to like be able to do it,
Yep.
Okay.
do okay, and then a third to be able to maybe get a couple of reps but not just crush it.
Yeah.
And then a third should probably zero it,
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
which is hard because you never know who's gonna sign up. Like,
Yeah.
I've got some of the classes are like I have the biggest middleweight class I've ever had
Wow.
this year. But some of the other classes are just, I look at the athletes that are signed up and I'm like, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
How many competitors do you have?
52.
And that's double from last year, you said, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think exactly. I want to say I had 26
Yeah.
last year.
And I think I could be wrong, but I think all the social media right now is blowing up in strongman. Like the popularity.
I
is
think power
growing.
sports in general.
Yeah.
First weightlifting did, then powerlifting, and now strongman's taken off a lot
Yeah, I mean,
last
it may
year.
even grow double next year for you too. It's
It's
crazy.
expanding. Our nationals are drawing almost 100 athletes a
Yeah.
year.
And then having the range of doing different weight classes, because all we ever see on TV are the super heavyweight men doing worlds.
Yeah.
And to know that a 200-pound man, a 175-pound man, a woman, whatever, can go in there and compete in that, that's got to be motivating for them to see what they're worth. Like you doing your first one and you finished last, but guess what? You catch a bug for it. You're
Yeah.
doing it now 10 years later. That's awesome.
So everyone has to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't forget that. You know.
So
Well, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, start out with something and just
Yeah.
see what
Grow
happens.
from there. Yeah.
So for you then, you also train people on the side. Is that true?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
I think I have 10 athletes right now.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And I do other programming, and then some come and do private sessions with me, and
Yeah.
others just come and join me with my training.
Okay.
So it's kind of a mix. I do like having them come and train because setting up and taking down your own equipment.
Oh yeah.
is more important.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Are they're all strongman athletes then?
Yeah.
Or strong
And
women?
from what I've heard, you have a pretty cool. You actually train at your house, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
How do your neighbors
House
feel
strength.
about that?
My neighbors like it. They think it's kind of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. you know, I do have people stop on the street and just kind of watch from time to time.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So it's fun.
Do you guys like blare metal and drink
Yeah.
fucking coffee and go nuts?
Drink whiskey and blare metal and
He's in the air.
Eating donuts. I mean, that's what we do here on Saturdays, but I don't know.
We try to.
We try to.
Yeah.
Well, you know, most of my athletes are weight class athletes, you know,
Okay.
so they, I mean,
They're
we
cognizant
try
of
to
weight.
tell them, don't eat like a college kid. Just keep it reeled in a little
Yeah.
bit, you know, 'cause
Yeah, yeah.
you're going to have to make
Yeah.
weight eventually, so
Yeah.
whatever, but,
Yeah.
you know, we still, I mean, I'm not opposed to having post-training cake.
So how does is there anything like what at your house or your training facility, the House of Strength? What is one of your
cool name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
What is What is one of your favorite events that you guys train with? Is it the fickle finger? Is it the stones? Like, what do you love doing more than any? Or teaching someone new, I guess. What do you enjoy teaching or doing? In your
It's
house?
always usually stones. I love,
Is it?
I love teaching people stones. Yeah,
Okay.
it's just super fun, and almost everybody. I only had one person who didn't like the stones, but almost everybody who does it is like, I've always seen this on TV or I've heard about it or
Yeah.
whatever, and I never thought I'd be able to do it.
Yeah.
And then once they learn how to do it, they're like, okay, that's pretty fun.
Oh.
One woman came and I showed her tacky and she was just disgusted.
Oh, wow.
Like I was telling her to put her hands in the poop. It was like that was the expression she gave. I'm
You can leave now, man.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
maybe
trust
this
me.
isn't right
Yeah.
for you.
I'm like, trust me. That's actually what I said at the end of the day. I was like, maybe this isn't your thing.
Well, my response would be like, have you ever put your hands in shit? Because this is not like that.
Not even a little bit the same.
No, not at all.
This actually tastes good.
And the consistency is quite different. Because I'm just, I have, so.
I think we all have.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, so it's always I enjoy stones. I
Yeah.
like them a lot. There's not you can't do anything like that.
Yeah.
You just
Well, I think too something like that, or like a really heavy sandbag or something along those lines, really can kind of show. Yeah, I know there's a lot of technical things to it, but you could get someone who's really strong. You have to try to pick that up, and they fucking can't.
yeah.
It's pretty humbling.
I have a sandbag I call Wilson, and it's an army duffel bag, and it's duct taped.
Oh, wow.
And my athletes hate it. It's 210 pounds, so it's not
Not too bad.
too bad, but it's duct tape,
Okay.
so you can't grip it, especially in the cold.
Yeah.
It's just hard to pick up or whatever. So I always hate it. I'm like, you're gonna do Wilson today.
Fuck. I have a 180-pound one over there, but yeah, the two with the duct tape. Like, how do they carry it then? Or what do they have to do? They just bear hug the fucker, or you're squeeze the shit out of it.
Yeah, just squeeze it as hard as you can. I try not to. It's easier to bear hug Wilson than carrying it horizontally.
That's it. I'm getting a big sandbag and I'm giving it a name. This is happening.
Yeah. I feel like every
I have to get on that level.
Yeah, should
This
have
is
a name
happening.
now. Yeah. That's great. You may have just started something.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like, damn it, Wilson.
You're having a tough
Wait,
day.
down there you're gonna put like little coconut stuff on top and give it a face.
I wrote Wilson on it at one point in time, but Wilson's had a couple of blowouts. He actually went on a bulk diet because he was like 190, 195.
Oh, okay.
So he had to increase weight a little bit for his weight class. And then I had to put more duct tape on.
just keep taping it.
Pretty much, yeah. No, it wasn't. He didn't gain 15 pounds of duct tape. But a lot of duct tape, but
You love MacGyver.
he blew open, and I was like, shit, that sucks. So you're gonna get more weight, more tape.
Bigger and better.
So between like the men and the women ratio, how many women do you have training with you, or even signed up for an event? Is it kind
I
of
have-
half and half, or
It's weird because I have more women that actually reach out for training than men.
really?
Yeah, probably because I'm so attractive.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say.
But yeah, no, more women reach out for training, and I think, I mean, I get it. As a guy, I don't.
Your
I think I
muscles.
can figure, yeah, like whatever. I can figure it out. I'll read Men's Fitness. It's got to be the same. It's the same as asking for directions.
Yeah. I can teach you that.
We're quoting that fucking. We're quoting that.
But I have more men come out and compete.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And actually, it's interesting because I don't have any lightweight women this year at all signed up for my contest. Not one.
because that damn Duck Donuts came to town. Everyone's just getting beefed up.
That place is amazing.
No, it's an easy way to qualify for somebody if they wanted to just jump in.
Yeah.
I closed. I had 52 athletes. I don't need any more.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm not taking it. That's enough.
That's great, man. 52 athletes.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I feel like you need to reach out and get some more help at the meet.
I do need more help at the meet. Yeah. So I'll see you guys on February 9th.
Yeah, we can help out if you can. I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
We just volunteered.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe we could actually take a trip to your house and make an embarrassment video of us trying these events.
I think we should
We
actually
could coincide it
I'm
with the release of this.
We're moving to a different house, kind of expanding.
Really?
Yeah, my gym because it's just a 2-car garage. Right now. So we're expanding it to a 3-car garage.
Wow. Moving on us.
We're moving up. Yeah, no, we just I don't know. We've been looking at moving for a while, and time was right for us. So
Yeah.
we're just gonna move.
The House of Strength is juicing now.
House of Strength.
You guys got that third garage putting on.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be real good. So
Well, really, you think
Bitch to
about
move.
we see a lot of those guys who are doing a lot of their, Brian Shaw or these guys at home videos, and they're training. It's all in their own garages. A lot of these guys get strong as can be in their own damn house, where they have their own training facility hours, wherever they want. It's got to be nice for you. But you used to go to a regular gym too, don't you?
yeah,
just get the body
I still go
pump
to
on.
Lifetime and hang out with those guys because that place is awesome.
Put out the vibe.
Put out the vibe.
Yeah.
You know how it is. But yeah, no, I still go and train there.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So how does that work too, as far as like whether you're training your clients or yourself, and you're competing for a meet? How often are you able to train for strongman versus 3 days a week? Because you have to recover. Is it every day? How do you organize that?
Well, my training is 5 days a week.
Okay.
It's usually just gym lifts.
Yep.
Do the squat, deadlift, overhead press, stuff like that. Then I have my event day where I just do strongman events.
Really? So it's it's probably a Saturday, whatever Saturday. I'm guessing.
Saturday, yeah.
Okay.
Most of the time Saturday.
Very cool.
And then if I'm getting close to competing or whatever,
Yeah.
I might throw in some events during the week.
Okay.
Touch them a little bit more often.
Okay.
It seems to be kind of the common thing. Most strongmen seems to be like 1 day a week. They just do a bunch of the events and
Yeah, I mean, you still have to just get strong.
yeah.
And then you have to work on your technique and stuff like that. So.
I think sometimes some of the stuff that people I've talked to seems like it, depending on the person, some of the strongman stuff just can crash them. Like when they're really new to it, because it is such a new thing, and especially you think about like a yoke carry, how heavy that can fucking get.
Yeah.
Probably.
I remember I would be beat up for days after when I first started this training. Wherever, everything would hurt. My hair would hurt.
That's another great quote.
That's another quote.
I've never heard that.
Well, what was it? It was this summer one time. I did a heavy yoke carry. The next day I was supposed to squat. I remember I only went up to it was like 405, and I put it on my back. I'm like, what the fuck? Put it back in the rack. I'm like, yeah, heavy yokes yesterday. My system just crashed. Like I was fucked up for like a week.
We call that a nope day.
Dude, it had no
You pick up your first working set. Nope.
not today. That was that day, man.
What's on TV?
Yeah, it was humbling as hell, but yeah.
So then with that too, like I always think about when you guys are training to get optimal shape or just muscle ready or weight ready for an event, even your cardio invests in this. If you know your event is the yoke carry for distance, are you purposely going heavier for shorter distances? Are you going lighter for longer distances to train for that? How do you kind of
Really
recommend?
depends on the weight.
Okay.
If it's something that is just super heavy.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I'm gonna finish.
Yeah.
Then you got to approach that differently. You got to kind of build up to it over time.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's something that's kind of light and I know it's going to be a sprint, then I'll probably go heavier.
Okay.
Okay.
Do more sets or
Yeah.
whatever. There's a number of ways to get at that end result, but it all a lot of it just depends on where your strength is.
Yeah.
And where those weights are.
And what do you find with that, like with new competitors or even people that have been in it for years? Is it the log press because the different angle of the press? Is it the yoke or the stove? What do you find is most difficult for people over the years or new beginners to kind of get used to?
That's a tough one because everything is so different.
Okay.
Everybody's level is at such different points. The new people most of the time can they gain strength really quick. I mean, it's common with
Yeah.
not just strongmen, but everything. But I think they're able to usually pick things up pretty fast.
Okay.
Whereas somebody who's been, maybe competing for a while or whatever, they're set in their ways. They
Yes.
have those habits that may or may not be bad habits, but maybe
Yeah.
not the most efficient way to do something. It's hard to change those.
Yeah.
Sure.
But there's ways to do it as long as the athlete is willing to put in the work. You can, it's like, you might have to humble yourself and go light for a little while to get this corrected before we can go and do it.
I imagine that's the name of the game in strongman, because I mean, trying to go in for 700 for reps, most people that's a dream one rep PR, right?
Yeah.
That's got to be the biggest name of the game. There is a humbling experience, like you said, your first event going finishing last.
Yeah.
I think that's true among any sport, really. Like you think, I like how you said that. I mean, we've all had athletes to where they come in, you need to tweak their technique a little bit, but they might be pretty strong, and sometimes ego gets in the way, or it's just how they've always done it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to kind of open up your mind to new ideas on some of that stuff. But that's usually your best athletes and coaches are willing to.
Or if it's like powerlifting, it comes to the squat, like you go heavy, you start to probably cut the depth a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because, like you said, go back lower again, figure it out before you put more weight on, 'cause it's not going to effectively probably carry over if you keep cutting it short and name the game is depth. So it does go a long way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.